Pre-market summary for Indian stock market. NIFTY 50 Index futures trading on the Singapore Stock Exchange suggest that the Nifty could rise 55 points at the opening bell. On the macro front, retail inflation in India fell to a 3-month low of 6.77% in October, down from 7.41% in September, according to the Consumer Price Index (CPI). Overall food inflation, which accounts for nearly half of the CPI basket, was 7.01% in October, down from 8.60% the previous month. Overseas, Asian stocks are mostly higher on Tuesday, as investors assess China's economic outlook and the Federal Reserve's interest rate policy. China's industrial production increased by 5% year-on-year in October, slowing from a 6.3% increase in September. Separately, retail sales in China fell 0.5% year-on-year in October, falling short of expectations. According to the minutes of its most recent meeting, the Reserve Bank of Australia hinted at further and possibly larger interest rate hikes in its efforts to tame inflationary pressures. The board agreed on the importance of returning inflation to target and expects to raise interest rates further in the coming period, the release stated. According to official preliminary estimates, Japan's economy contracted unexpectedly in the third quarter compared to the previous year. When compared to the same period last year, GDP fell 1.2% in the July to September quarter. Meanwhile, following a 3-hour summit meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Indonesia, U.S. President Joe Biden stated that there need not be a new Cold War between the U.S. and China. Despite escalating rhetoric and aggressive military moves by the People's Republic of China in the Taiwan Strait, Biden stated need not be a new Cold War. The much-anticipated meeting between Biden and his counterpart took place on the sidelines of the G20 Summit of Economically Developed Nations in Bali. Investors digested messaging from Federal Reserve officials on the path of monetary policy as U.S. stocks fell on Monday, losing steam after a blistering rally last week. This week, investors will be looking for earnings reports from major retailers such as Walmart and Target. Back home, the major equity benchmarks ended the day with minor losses, owing to weakness in other Asian markets. However, India's higher-than-expected WPI inflation rate encouraged investors. The S&P, BSE Sensex, the barometer index, fell 170.89 points, or 0.28%, to 61,624.15. To 18,329.15, the NIFTY 50 Index fell 20.55 points or 0.11%. According to preliminary data, foreign portfolio investors, FPIs, purchased shares worth 1,089.41 crore on 14th of November, while domestic institutional investors were net buyers worth 47.18 crore. Follow us, information is wealth.